let's dive into our topic of time travel, and today we will check Albert Einstein, what he was saying about the time traveling in a theory of relativity. The concept of time travel have fascinated the humankind for centuries. The idea that we could journey to the distant times and places have been stamp of science fiction and fantasy stories for decades. But time travel, is it really possible according to the modern physics? In this article, we will explore what scientists like Albert Einstein have said about the feasibility of time travel, focusing on the distinction between traveling to the future versus to the past. According to the Einstein theory of special relativity, time is relative based on the observer. Someone traveling at close to the speed of light would experience time passing more slowly compared to someone at rest. This means that theoretically, a high-speed traveler could zip into the future faster than the people who remain on the Earth. So, forward time traveling of the future is plausible based on Einstein equation. E is equal to mc squared. However, reversing time arrows to travel to the past appear more difficult, if not impossible. There are several major barriers science have identified. Causality paradox. Going back in time could allow traveler to change event in the past in the way that would contradict the original timeline that led to the time journey in the first place. This could lead to logical contradiction. This is generally due to the paradox called the grandfather paradox, whereby you could go in the past and kill your father or your grandparents so that you could not be born in the future. Violation of the law of thermodynamics. Some processes are physically irreversible. Trying to undo entropy from the past could violate the second law of thermodynamics. Requirement for faster than light travel. Wormhole through space and time would likely be needed for backward time travel, but Einstein relativity does not allow for velocities exceeding the speed of light. So, while basic physics may allow journey to the future through high-speed travel, trip to the past appear dubious. Einstein himself was skeptical of the backward time travel due to the potential paradoxes. Method of time travel. Forward. According to the Einstein equation, here are some theoretical methods for forward time travel. Accelerating to relativistic speeds. The closer an object gets to the speed of light, the slower the time passes for it, based on relativity. At 90% of the speed of light, the time would move twice as slowly. At 99.5%, time would pass 10 times more slowly. Therefore, traveling at relativistic speed involves jumping forward in time relative to those left behind. The main limitation is it would take enormous amount of energy to accelerate human to such high speed. Antimatter or fusion reactor could theoretically power such jumping voyages. Medical stasis for the time traveler would also be critical. Traversing a wormhole. Space-time wormhole are hypothetical warped region of the space theoretically created by extreme mass or gravity. Passing through such a wormhole could provide a shortcut between a distant point in space-time. A voyage through the wormhole could enable traveler to skip across time as well as space. However, stabilizing the wormhole long enough for safe passage is currently beyond any engineering capability. Exotic negative energy, matter with anti-gravitational effect might be required. Time dilation near a black hole. The gravitational time dilation near an extremely massive black hole could slow down time enough to propel traveler thousands or millions of years into the future compared to the distant observer. For example, a supermassive black hole, Sagittarius A, at the center of our galaxy causes a time to pass more slowly. The effect is minuscule on human timescale, but orbiting very near to the edge of the supermassive black hole could enable a larger jump forward in time. The extreme tidal forces make this extremely dangerous method, however. Caveat or and concern about forward time travel. While forward time travel to the future has a basis in legitimate science, there are still major concerns. Technological limitation. The engineering challenge involved in the building the vessel capable of relativistic speed, stabilizing wormhole, or surviving black hole environment may prove too difficult or expensive to achieve in reality. Biological time dilation issue. Even if technological can propel people to the future, there could be problem due to biological time dilation difference between traveler and the destined time period. Paradox. Just because backward time travel appear ruled out does not necessarily eliminate all temporary paradox concern involving knowledge brought back from the future. Physiological effects, psychological effects. Great leap forward in time could cause disorientation and culture shock for the arriving in the new era, and the loved one left behind could age or die at vastly different rates. Alteration of the future. The very act of time travel could reshape events in the unpredictable ways that violate the continuity of history. This could have dire repercussions. Thank you for today. Let's meet next forward.